All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nick of Time podcast. We have a very special guest for you today. She goes by the name of Brenda. We kind of met through socials. I'm so glad she took the time out of her day to do this. But Brenda, please, if you don't mind introducing yourself to the people.
Hey everyone, my name is Brenda Savariego. I go to UT. I'm in second year at UT undergrad. I am majoring in exercise science with a specialization in strength and conditioning and also a minor in entrepreneurship. So kind of some things that I do with the college, with the university. I am part of the UT football staff, not like professionally, but intern wise. I am the fueling station manager for Texas Performance Nutrition. So what that does is I oversee our interns that come and intern for us. I kind of see and make sure that they're completing the tasks needed, that they have everything they need to complete all tasks. For example, setting up pre-fuel during practice, setting up post-recovery, just making sure that they have the resources needed to make it a successful day. Something else I do is I'm a mentor for Texas Education Scholars. Being a mentor for me is big. I love mentorship. It's kind of my passion. It's something that I just love and enjoy doing. Something else that I do is I recently got accepted into a new role as a student ambassador for Elevated Texas. So from what I saw from the application, what that does is students get selected across all universities in Texas. And so what we do is we meet once a month. We kind of sit down and meet with each other and kind of explain, what each college of education is doing. What are we doing that we can help that college, or what are they doing that they can help us become better? However, with all these 5 things that I do, so I'm a student, I'm a fueling station manager with Texas Performing Nutrition. I'm a mentor of 6 kiddos. Well, not kiddos, but call them my kiddos. I work at a retail store as well. And now a student ambassador. Even though I do all these amazing things, that's not what I identify myself as. I kind of identify myself as, what I believe in, my morals, my values, kind of how I respond to things, to certain situations, my work ethic. I take a lot of pride in my work ethic. I believe, hard work pays off. So yeah, and just simply my overall goal in life is to be able to impact anybody who comes through me in a positive way, of course, but to make sure that, I am challenging them. I am making sure that, I'm challenging them to become a better person every single day, that I'm pushing them to maximize their potential, because everybody has a gift and we should all develop our gift and share it with the world. So yeah, that's kind of me.
Well, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And you can kind of tell, like, it radiates off of you. Obviously, you listed like things you do, but then again, you're like, this is what I do. This isn't who I am. I identify as, a person of faith, a person of positivity, a person of just trying to be the best version of myself. And that radiates, naturally off to other people. So I guess, my next question is, you go to UT, right? Did you always want to go to UT? Like, where are you originally from? Like,
right, I forgot to mention that. So I'm from Bronzeville, Texas, the Rio Grande Valley.
Okay, the Valley. I know. I'm not from there, but I lived in San Antonio for a little bit. San Antonio is like a second home for me. I'm originally from West Texas, like Odessa. So
okay.
That's like where I'm originally from. But yeah, I definitely know people in the Valley for sure.
Yeah, so I'm from the Valley, predominantly Hispanic people, very traditional like family. Did I always want to go to UT? I didn't even know UT existed till like sophomore year, because I got into this program called Hobie Leadership. So it's a summer program where, you apply to it. I applied to it at my school and I got accepted. And then I kind of just came to UT and we had these like leadership seminars, and I saw the campus and I fell in love with it, and I was like, if I can, I want to come here. It was just so big. I was like, wow. But senior year, well, going to junior year, I became very like focused and just worked super hard with athletics, especially volleyball. And so I was like very focused in just becoming better every single day, becoming the best. And, senior year was really when I kind of did that, and all my hard work paid off, and I was, setter of the year my senior year, all Metro setter of the year. Things were moving really good for me. I was like considering going to play college ball, D3 though, not D1. I'm not that. But I was considering playing college ball, so because I love being an athlete, and I was like, I know I can make it, because if anybody can do it, I can do it. So I was like, I can play college ball if I wanted to. So I was really considering it. And what ended up happening was my coach kind of told me, you have to decide whether you want to go to a university or you want to play college ball. And so at first I had chosen to play college ball, and I was like, I'm going to do this because I love doing it. And then I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision, because originally when I applied to UT, I got accepted and everything, but I got no scholarship. And so I was like, I don't have the money to like go here. And I just wanted to get away from home. I wanted to explore and meet new people and just, find myself again. So I was like, So then I spoke to my coach, because she knew me best in a professional standpoint, like being her athlete for 4 years. She kind of knew how it worked. So I kind of told her how like I did want to go to UT, but like they didn't offer me a scholarship. And so then what she did, she spoke to the dean at our high school, and then the dean spoke to our financial clerk. And then I'm guessing our financial clerk spoke to somebody at UT. And the next thing I know, I get a scholarship, and it's like, like I could really go.
Wow.
And so then again, after I got the scholarship, I was like, should I go to UT? Like UT, like, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't pass that up.
Yeah. And so then she was like, you've worked so hard your 4 years academically to go to community college to play volleyball. She's like, I play volleyball because I didn't have the money to pay for college, but you've worked so hard, like you're top 5%, and you've gotten accepted to this university. Like, she's like, you've just worked so hard to just go to community college. And I was like, you're right. I was like, you're right. So I decided to go to UT. And sometimes I do think what like, you're always going to think, what if, right? But I don't regret my decision at all.
Well, I have a similar story. Obviously football is big. I grew up in Odessa, Texas, like the original Friday Night Lights, like the show, the movie. Like that's where I'm from. Literally. Yeah. And I had like a few like Division II like opportunities, like the Lone Star Conference. I don't know if you're kind of familiar, but like in Odessa you have University of Texas of the Permian Basin. It's a D2, and then San Angelo State D2. What else is in the like MSU, Midwestern State University? Like it's just the D2 Texas teams. But they were like, hey, we're only gonna pay for half. And obviously I'm half Mexican, half black, so I come from Hispanic culture too, and it was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for school, even on a half scholarship. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this. So I ended up not wanting to stay so close to home. And like you said, I had the same decision. Do I want to like go to school at this school just to play football and like be busy with a bunch of other stuff and not make money and just trying to figure it all out? So I ended up joining the military, which I go to school anyway. So kudos to that. But luckily it's for free now, so I got that scholarship I always wanted.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, and I don't regret it. But again, like you said, I always think, what if? So I guess kind of segueing into the next topic. I've seen your posts on Instagram and whatnot. You do a lot for the community, which is my personal favorite. Even though I'm like the biggest Texas fan, like seeing you, like you said, what you do with your kiddos and all that stuff, that's like one of the coolest things. I guess when it comes to like your faith and being spiritual, but also like what that does for your mental health and what mental health means to you. Because I started this podcast mainly because I had friends that say, "Hey, dude, like you're good with words, you're a good talker, and you have a way of galvanizing people. You need to do something like this." And I was like, but I don't have like a Canon, this nice camera. I don't have this or that. And they kept saying, "Give me another excuse." So I was like, okay. I started. Here I am, and my main goal is I don't have like most podcasts. This is a theme, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that, but if there was one, it would be like spiritual and mental health, like that would be my theme if there was one, because I think that us as humans, like we're on this earth for such a short amount of time, and trying to figure out everything that goes on in our head is impossible, and you need that to like keep you grounded, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you?
Well, from a mentor standpoint and just the experiences that I've been through, I've been able to connect with my mentees because of my experiences. And it turns out like a lot of college students, when you are transitioning from high school to college, like it's hard. And nobody tells you, like they just tell you it's hard, but they don't tell you how hard it actually is. Like I had an identity crisis, like athlete all through my high school. And then I get to college and it's just school. Yeah. And I love school, but I don't love it that much to just be doing school. And so the first semester I found myself like, yeah, because I was like, I got no sports no more. Like for so long, I identified myself with sports because I was all in. I gave it my all. I gave nothing but less. And for so long, like it was just every day at it, all in 100%, right? And then it's like you get to college and it's like everybody has probably done the same thing as you or accomplished many things. So one, it's more competitive. Yeah. And then two, you start to compare yourself. And then that's when you get defeated as soon as you start comparing yourself, because you're like, damn, all these people are doing the same things. And it's like, well, what sets me apart? And I remember like going to my first class of college and I see everybody and I just go into my first class and like, I don't feel like my high school prepared me for this, but it was like, I sit down and everybody's like, and I was like, what are y'all typing? Like, I have no idea what you're typing. Like, I need help. Yeah. It was a lot of like imposter syndrome, right? And it's like with myself. Fortunately, I had a great advisor who told me like, you're gonna be okay. But I started seeking opportunities for myself because I knew college, well, not college, but like classes, like I couldn't just do classes. I was gonna go nuts if I just did classes. Like I've always been someone who does a lot, and not because I can't just do one thing, but it's just I love being a part of so many things. I don't know. And so I looked for an internship, and our professor posted an internship, and I applied and got it. I was like, wow, okay. And so then I got it, and it was a recruiting operations internship with Texas football as well. So I started off there, and it was great. Like I got to see the behind of the scenes of football, and like there's so much that goes around in the behind the scenes that nobody really knows. But yeah, and then I just kept finding opportunities for myself, kept saying yes at first, just because, I just didn't want to do classes. And then I had so much time on my plate that I was like, what am I going to do with this time? So I was able to seek these opportunities, and that helped with my mental health. But I was, even with that, like that my internship was the only thing like keeping me going, because classes were super hard.
Yeah.
But I got through it. And so I'm saying this because my mentees are going through the same thing. And so what I told them, I was like, look, you're not alone. Every single freshman who's coming in here feels the same way as you. But a lot of times we don't project that. Like, mental health used to be seen as like, you don't talk about your feelings. You don't talk about your emotions. And now it's like coming to light, and people are starting to be more aware of it. And that's great, because like for me, especially growing with the traditional family, feelings, it's not talked about. It's kind of like the suck up mentality of, suck it up. Like, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through it. And sometimes, I mean, that's good because we do have to suck it up. But other times, like, we just want to be seen and heard. Like, we just want somebody to be there for us.
No, for sure. I thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna drop you a gem here. Because of my time in the military and stuff, like obviously I've lost a bunch of people close to me. In many ways, suicide, and then obviously just like through all kinds of ways. And what I've learned, I've been going through therapy. So I've been in the military about 7 years, 7 and some change. And for the past year and a half, I've been going to therapy. So it took me a long time. Like you said, come from a real like machismo family, like let's pick your feet up, keep going, you know what I mean? And which I still do, you know what I mean? I'm on my grind, working hard, just like you are. But what therapy does is it really like opens my eyes and gives me a lot of clarity. And one of the best things, there's a lot of them, but one of the best things my therapist ever told me, because I was having some issues and I was like, hey, I'm just trying to get back to a point in my life where I was smiling more, where I was more happy, whatever the case may be. He said, Nick, he was like, you're going to go through traumas, which you've already have, and you're going to go through more down the line. He said, don't go looking for happiness. That sounds crazy, right? But he said, as a man, but as a human, male, female, whatever, go search for purpose. He was like, you will find what that happiness that you're looking for through finding your purpose than you'll ever find just chasing whatever happiness is. And I was like,
ooh, mic drop. No, I agree.
So just remember to keep living like that, even, once you graduate and continue to do big things, as I know you are, we have to continue to stay focused on a purpose, not on a feeling, I guess you could say.
Correct. Yeah, and just to like add a little bit to it, when I was going through my identity crisis of like, who am I? I had to ask myself these questions like, who are you? What do you want out of life? And what's your purpose? And who do you want to be seen as?
Yeah.
Those were like the hardest questions ever. Like, but they're the most calming questions that people ask you. And so I kind of blanked out right now, but what was I gonna say? Kind of help me out here. Get my mind flowing again.
Yeah, I'll just take the reins and just say, when I see you, obviously you have your mentees and everything you're doing, but I do want to ask the question of like, okay, yes, it's sort of internship, but how does it feel to be a part of like the Texas program? Because let me say real quick, I don't think people understand like college football, let alone like a university like the University of Texas. How much resources, how much, development, what goes on between the 40 acres, like people don't realize that. And I don't even know the ins and outs. I'm just like a big fan. But to explain kind of to the people, not every detail, but what that experience has been like for you, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is just gratitude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just beyond grateful for where I'm at and the position that I'm at, because who would have thought, a girl from the
From
Rio
the
Grande
valley.
Valley would be, in the position that she is right now. And oftentimes, like, there's some people who come to the internship and they see it as something small, but like, I don't know, me, like, I make it a point to be grateful for the little things. And when I first got there, I was like, nutrition is not something that I want to pursue in life. Like, I don't want to be a sports dietitian, but I'm working with the athletes. If I want to be a coach, this is helping me. That athlete, interaction is going to help me become a better coach, let alone knowing the nutrition aspects of it is going to help me be a coach. And so there's shifts that we kind of sign up for, and they have this 6:30 a.m. shift. And that kind of, we would make some shakes while the guys were lifting. And, knowing that I want to be a strength and conditioning coach, I would sign up for those shifts so I can specifically watch the coaches coach the athletes, because I'm learning at the same time, learning both things. And so there was a 6:30 a.m. shift, and I would take that one intentionally because I was able to see the coaches interact with the athletes and how they were coaching them. And our head strength and conditioning coach, or athletic performance coach, Coach Beckton, just praise him, man. Amazing coach. Like, he preaches all the time. I loved his speeches every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I would be there in the mornings. I took advantage of that because I was like, if I'm going to be a coach one day, I need to learn from the best. And so networking is a very big thing working with Texas football. Like, these are elite coaches, and like, I have to remind myself of that. Like, I'm working with elite coaches and elite dietitians, and like our director for nutrition, Amy Culp, like, she's a legend in the field, and it's just insane that I'm learning from her, not only nutrition but also leadership. And the same thing goes for like our sports dietitian for football, Kirsten Gregorich. She's came from the NFL here, and it's just amazing. Like, I've learned so much from her. I see her as a mentor because she's taught me so much. And it wasn't necessarily in nutrition, but just in life in general. And like, anybody who works with Texas football, they all have something that you can learn from, but it's up to you to take advantage of that. And not like take advantage. Not take advantage of them, but learn from them, and kind of pick their brain and what they know, because they've all gone through hardships. They've all gone through their own experiences of how they got there. And I find it, like, I just find it so cool and just mesmerizing, knowing that I'm a 19-year-old working with these people, and they know me, and I show up. The thing about me is I'll show up every single day. It doesn't matter if there's lightning, thunder, unless they tell us we can't come in, I won't go in, but I'll show up. And so they see that. So obviously, whether you like it or not, sometimes people are still looking at you, even though you don't know that they're looking at you. And so just knowing that they can see my work ethic and they see how hard I work, like, that already is a wonderful network. So like, for example, I came from recruiting. I know the people from recruiting because I work there. Now I know nutrition because I work here. If I want to go to athletic performance, I have that connection with the strength and conditioning coaches because I've interacted with them. They've seen me interact with the athletes, and just how professional I am with just being myself. And yeah, so it's been honestly an insane experience, and something that I do because, again, I'm just grateful. Like, I am so blessed. Every time I get to walk through the stadium, and we just set a new PR to like host over 105,000 fans. And I like walk through it, and every time I make it a point, every time I like get to the middle, I do a 360 and I just take it in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who can say that they get to walk through this tunnel like during their
DKR.
undergrad? Yeah, exactly. At DKR. So I just like look around. It's just every time it just gives me the chills. It's
electric.
It's insane. Insane is the word for
That's
it.
awesome. I was gonna say that was gonna be my next question. You don't have to go all the way into too much detail, but what if you had a favorite moment of this past season for you personally, where you're either on the field, it could be off the field too, but I'm sure on the field, that just like you were like going crazy.
The Alamo Bowl.
Really?
Even though we didn't win, I'll tell you why. Because we got to leave for a week in preparation for the Alamo Bowl game. And when our director, Miss Amy, she gave me the opportunity to be able to go to this game, this huge bowl game, I was like, yes, like, this is a great opportunity. Like, I get to be a part of the Alamo Bowl game. And so being able to experience that and then being able to get out of the tunnel after the guys, like, that was my first time doing that. Being able to get out of the tunnel and see all the Texas fans yelling, oh my God, that's chills. Like, it was insane. But what was more special was that my coach was able to attend that game, like my varsity volleyball coach, and like her and I developed like a family relationship, a good bond. And so I know that she was there and she like saw me, and I was able to see her post later, and she was like, what a special moment. Like, she's seen me grow, and it was such a special moment to like, watch me get out of the tunnel, and knowing that she was there and that it was also a special moment for her. I was so happy because I was like, I've really grown so much over 2 years. And that was simply because I took the initiative to work on myself and become a more confident person and just take action, like work hard all the time. It's just
that's awesome. It's truly inspiring. I actually just recently became an ambassador for Bear Performance Nutrition. They're out of Austin. It's a veteran-owned like company for like supplements and stuff. And the guy, the founder of it, his name is Nick Bear. He's a prior Army Ranger, real like just total stud. And I finally got to meet him, like do a Zoom call not too long ago, and I'm just like, I still can't believe it. And in a couple weeks, I'll actually be in Austin for they call it like Ambassadors Week. So I've been applying to be an ambassador for like 2 years, and I finally got it after applying, I think my third time. And it's crazy because they're having Ambassadors Week, and it's just like a community where everyone's like getting together, working out, and then we get to either run or just support each other in the Austin Marathon. And it's just so crazy to me because like I'll hop on Zoom calls. Like I was on a Zoom call with the ambassadors right before this. And like, it's not like nobody cares about like posting, nobody cares about your sales. Like, yes, those are important, but just about people. You know what I mean? If you care about people, that's what really matters. And yeah, people can feel that genuineness, and it really hits home. So with that, I don't want to keep you here all night. We'll go into the next topic. Actually, one of the last topics, because you said a lot. You've been a very great guest. If you could sit down and have dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, Brenda, who are you sitting down with?
My mom.
Okay.
Because she's my mom.
Gotta love her.
I need her by my side. My coach Daya, because she's been a big impact in helping me become who I am today, and just I don't know, she's just a special person to me. My grandma, I just love my grandma so much.
I was gonna say, I think this is like episode 30, and I think 27 out of the 30 people said either one of their two grandparents, either grandma or grandpa. So you're not alone.
Yay. My grandma. And I actually thought about this. I don't have a fourth person because I want my fourth person to be somebody who will mentor me to become the best version of myself. And I don't know who that is, but I want for that person to be somebody who's already at the top, who would just challenge me to be better every day and help me get to the top.
I think I know the perfect person. You ready?
Who?
You in 10 years. How about that?
I like that. Right? Okay.
Yeah, nice. Already.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the actual last final question. I know we don't know each other very well, right? This isn't some super big like podcast, but is there anybody that you would like to see maybe on the podcast next that like you're like, oh, I love the way they talk, or you know what I mean? Maybe they'll provide some insight. If not, you just be like, me again. We'll do a part 2.
Me again. I don't No, I honestly I can't think of anybody right now.
No worries. We'll definitely have to do this again down the line, especially before the season starts, because I know you'll be super busy. You probably already are busy. But yeah, obviously I just want to let you know again, thank you for the time. It really means a lot. I'm super honored. And secondly, like just keep going. The company I'm an ambassador for, we talk about going more, and then this year, like proving yourself right. So we talked about that comparison, imposter syndrome, stuff like that. Everything you're doing, like do it to prove yourself right instead of trying to prove everybody wrong. Obviously from the valley, never thought you'd be in the position you are in, but that has a lot to do, with your character, and it says a lot about you. So again, Brenda, thank you for your time. Is there any last things you want to say to, the audience out there? Maybe a quote, advice. It could be something funny. It could be nothing.
So I recently came up with this analogy because one of my mentees was going through it. And I was like, from my experience, when I was going through it last year, my first year of college, like one thing I was doing is like, sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed, but I made it a point to, keep trying to get out, keep trying to be better, keep trying to like get out of this hole that I was stuck in. And the analogy I used was when you're stuck on cement. So when you're stuck on cement, it's like, you're stuck, your 2 feet are stuck. And then, you keep trying. So then you realize, I can just take off my shoes and step a little further. So you take off your shoes and you're not with your socks and you step a little further and you get stuck again.
Yeah.
And you're back like, the depression came back, more hardships, people bullying, whatever the case is. But then you're like, no, but I got this counter. Like you're fighting yourself, fighting your mind. Your thoughts are fighting you. And it's like, no, but I got this. I can keep going. And you keep telling yourself that I'm going to keep trying. And you're like, wait, I have a jacket on. I can use this. So then you throw it on the ground and you try to spread it as much as you can so you can cover a lot of ground. So you take that step, right? And each time you're getting closer to who you want to be, to get out of this hole that you're stuck in. And so at the end, you're like, well, I have 2 feet left. How am I going to get through this? And so you start realizing that, the people you hang around with will lead you to either do better things or bad things. And so then you're like, you start hanging out with the right people and they start motivating you. Like, no, like you got this, like you're amazing, like you can do this and you can do that. You're capable of so many things, and you find a great mentor who's like, just wants the best for you. And you're like, you're right. Like, I got this. And you continue to keep trying and trying and trying. You're like, wait, I was an athlete before. I can easily jump these 2 feet and I'm out of this hole. And so then you realize that and you jump and you're out of the cement and you're like, you kind of look back at your trajectory and how you've developed and how all these experiences that you went through have now made you stronger. And because of that, now you're able to share your story and inspire other people. And now you're set for life because you were already at your lowest and you just got out of it by simply trying and doing your best every single day.
Yeah.
And so my main thing is just never give up and always have faith.
Never give up, always have faith. That is a lovely, lovely story or analogy, I should say. Thank you for that again, Brenda. I appreciate it. To all my people out there, if you're interested in BPN supplements or case, I'm gonna leave a link below, so make sure to click that. But again, finally, Brenda, you've been a wonderful guest. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. That usually doesn't happen, by the way. You've been a wonderful guest. I hope we can continue to stay connected because I know you're doing big things, and it's inspiring me to keep going, like you said, and just keep trying. So again, I hope you have a good night, and thank you.
You too. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me. This was great.
We'll have to do it again for sure.
For sure.
Alrighty, take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.